If you're looking to move to 30A or you're maybe planning a trip here, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to be going over the proximity to everything on 30A. That means your airports, your movie theaters, your shopping, restaurants, schools, everything you can think of to help you make a better decision on where you want to stay or where you want to move to. So without further ado, let's get right into it. My name is Christine Robertson with Sea Haus Realty, and my mom and I are a mother-daughter team here in the Panhandle. If you have any questions about moving to the area or you just want to know more about the area, we're happy to talk to you and help out. So please contact us at the information provided, and let's jump right into it. All right, so we are going to be starting with airports. So I'm going to pull this up on my Google Maps here and just kind of chat about a couple of them. So you've got three major airports in the Emerald Coast area. The first one you have is Destin Fort Walton Beach. P.S. This one is the easiest to fly out of if you are staying on 30A or in Destin. It is a smaller airport. All of these are smaller airports, and I will say that is a con about living here that I mentioned in our pros and cons video. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch that, because that also provides a lot of amazing information about living here on 30A. But you probably are going to have to connect no matter which airport you are choosing from, unless you are flying from a major city. But you've got Destin Fort Walton Beach. That's one of the main ones. We also have one in Pensacola. This one has a couple of more flights. You might get a little bit more direct flights, but you are about an hour and a half drive from 30A, so that's just something to mind. We do have somebody that we know that is a driver that does airport rides, so if you need a ride from the airport when you're coming to stay, let us know. We can give you her information. And then the last one is the PCB airport. This one is really easy access to Watersound Origins. Watersound Origins is a big community. They're actually building a road that is going to go to that airport. That will be really helpful. If you're more on the east end of 30A or in Panama City Beach, that is going to be your closest airport. So those are your main airports. Now I'd like to talk about shopping. So if you're on 30A, there is a lot of really cute little boutique shopping. Some of my favorite places to go shopping for those cute little boutiques is Seaside or Rosemary Beach. And if you're just driving along 30A, there's a couple of little shopping centers you can stop and do a little bit of that shopping. But if you want to go to your big box store shopping, you're going to have to either go to Sandestin, Destin, or Panama City Beach. There's nothing on 30A like that. So your first stop could be Grand Boulevard. Grand Boulevard is a smaller, more luxury shopping center. I'm going to pull up exactly where it is for you guys. Okay, so I have Grand Boulevard pulled up. This is a really helpful shopping center if you're staying anywhere on the west end of 30A. As you can see, we have 30A right over here. You can see I'm hovering my mouse here. So 30A is starting there. So you've got Dune, Allen, Blue Mountain Beach, all of that right around there. And then you come into here and you have Grand Boulevard. Grand Boulevard is more luxury shopping. You have Anthropologie, Pottery Barn, those kinds of stores. You also have a movie theater there, and there are a lot of restaurants. You have some chains. We have like PF Chang and Fleming's. Some of my favorites in Grand Boulevard are also Cantina Laredo, which has an amazing happy hour. If you haven't been, I definitely recommend checking that out. And there's also another one called Vintage, which is a seafood restaurant that I highly recommend as well. Super good. There's also a hospital here. So if it's important for you to be close to a hospital, I recommend staying on more the west end, because that is your closest hospital there. Going into our next mall, we have Silver Sands Premium Outlet. So this is right past Sandestin. You're still in Walton County, but you are in Miramar. So 30A, the beginning of 30A is probably 10 to 15 minutes from that. So if you're staying all the way in Seaside, this could be up to a 30 to 40 minute drive for you. But if it's raining outside and there's nothing else to do, this is a good place to go. This one is much larger than Grand Boulevard, but it is an outlet mall, so you have more discount shopping there, and it is an outdoor mall. All of these I'm talking about today are outdoor malls. We do not have a huge indoor mall around us. You've got stores like the Nike outlet here. You've got Kate Spade outlet, Coach outlet. So you have a lot of stores. There's a Disney store there. There's also Winn-Dixie across the street. So you do have a lot here. And then if you're looking for more of a traditional mall, not an outlet mall or just a couple of luxury stores, I recommend checking out Destin Commons. Destin Commons is a little bit further down. It's right by the Mid-Bay Bridge. So if you're going, some of you may come from Niceville across the Mid-Bay Bridge into your trip into Destin or 30A. So it's not super deep into Destin. Again, if you're staying in somewhere like Seaside, this is going to be a 30 to 45 minute drive for you. But if you're on the west end of 30A, it's more like 20 minutes. This is more of your traditional mall. It's gonna have your H&M, it's gonna have your black and white, there's Sephora, very traditional. It is an outdoor mall as well, and they also have a movie theater in Destin Commons too. They also have a really cool bowling alley here. They also have a lot of restaurants. And they do have a really big Bass Pro Shop here, which is kind of fun to visit. If you have not been to one of those, the one here is massive. I'm gonna swing to the completely other side of the Emerald Coast now and talk about Pier Park. Pier Park is in Panama City Beach. So if you are staying anywhere from Seagrove all the way to Rosemary Beach, or you're in Panama City Beach, this is gonna be the closer shopping to you. So it's gonna have Target, it's gonna have all the stores that are in the Destin Commons. It's bigger than Destin Commons, and it's bigger than the Outlet Mall. Pier Park is going to be bigger than Destin Commons, Outlet Mall, or Grand Boulevard. It has pretty much anything you can think of shopping-wise as Marshall's, Target, but then it also has all the stores that you would find in a traditional mall, and it also has a lot of touristy things to do there as well. It is a very big attraction. So if you are on the east end of 30A or Panama City Beach, I do recommend driving here. Destin can be a little bit farther than that. The next thing I want to talk about is schools, and I'm just going to briefly talk about the high schools in the area. They just built Destin Middle School a couple of years ago. I actually drove all the way to Niceville when I was in high school because they did not have Destin High School built up yet. So you have South Walton and Santa Rosa Beach, you have Freeport High School, Niceville High School, Destin High School, Fort Walton Beach, and Crestview as well. And then you also have some in Panama City Beach. You also have a charter school option that's in Walton County if you're specifically looking on 30A. This is the Seaside School. It is a charter school. There is a lottery to get into it, and then it does lead into Seacoast. Seacoast, they do their first 2 years in South Walton, and they do their last years full-time at Northwest State College and graduate with their associate's degree, which is kind of cool. When I was in high school, I was friends with some of the kids, and it was only 25 students in their class because it was the second graduating class of Seacoast, and I know they've grown a lot since then. But if you're interested more in the school, I'm gonna link all the rating below, so I recommend you do your own research on that specifically. And something I wanted to point out before I go is just talking a little bit about convenience here. So if you are living, and I'm gonna draw here to kind of show you, if you are living anywhere in this area in the middle of 30A, just keep in mind it's gonna take you a little bit longer to get anywhere like a big box store or an airport. If I'm living on this side of 30A, it's easy for me to get to Destin. And if I'm living on this side of 30A, it's easy for me to get to Panama City, to get to a Target, a Marshall's, a Home Depot, stuff like that. If you live in the middle here, you really only have your small local businesses on 30A, Publix, Ace Hardware, a couple of things. So if it's important to you to be close to the big box stuff and you're used to that, you're coming from a city and you don't want to be far away from it, I would consider possibly living on east or west end, so easily access those things, especially if traffic is bad. Like in the summer, traffic can get really bad. So that's just a little bit of a recommendation. So I would also like to talk about your main road. So we've got Mid-Bay Bridge, which is right here, and 331. Those are going to be your main bridges to get off the island if you're staying in Destin or 30A. The Mid-Bay Bridge does have a toll on it, and the 331 bridge does not. That is something to keep in mind if you work in Destin or 30A and you need to cross that bridge every single day to get to work. Freeport, you may be like, I don't want to pay for that. So Freeport may be a better option for you because if you're crossing that bridge every day and you don't want to pay those tolls. Something to keep in mind, if you live in Florida and you cross it a certain amount of time per month, you do get a discount on the tolls for the Mid-Bay Bridge over here, but you still are paying that every time. Niceville is a little more established, and then Freeport is still a very fast growing. And then of course we do have 98. 98 is this one really big road that you can pretty much go anywhere along the coast to, and it extends further and further out. So this can get super backed up in the summer, or if there is a car accident, they are working on extending this to a 3 cars instead of 2 cars. They already have done that in between Destin and Santa Rosa Beach, and it has helped the traffic a lot in my opinion. But this is gonna be the main road you're taking to get from one place to the other. If you're looking to get to the airport, there is 79 now, which is in Panama City Beach, and that will take you to the airport right around here. And you do have Margaritaville. You've got a couple of brand new construction communities here, and so there are a lot of development here along 79 as well. And the last thing I wanted to mention is a couple of my favorite restaurants. So if you're on 30A, a couple of my favorites are Pescado in Rosemary Beach, Great Southern in Seaside, Stinky's Fish Camp in Dune Allen Beach, and Chunkgully in Gulf Place. Those are just a couple of my favorites on 30A in Miramar Beach. I love Buffalo Jack's for chicken wings and bar food. There's also Domu in Destin, which is more of an Asian cuisine, which is kind of nice. It's a little bit different than your traditional seafood. And then one of my all-time favorites, which is in Destin, is McGuire's. It's been around forever. It is an Irish pub, but they've got everything on the menu, and I've never had a bad meal at McGuire's. I highly recommend going there if you're on vacation anywhere on 30A or in Destin. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Again, my name is Christine Robertson, and my mom and I are mother-daughter team. If you have any questions about what you learned about in this video or the area in general, please reach out to us. We are happy to help. And don't forget to subscribe, because we post videos weekly all about the area and all about homes in the area. So thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.